So this morning, I'm heading into town, into Albuquerque, to take a look at another pickup truck. It's the same one that we showed very briefly in a previous video. It is a 2001 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. It's got the gas engine, the 6.0 V8 Vortec, I believe. It's an LS-based engine. Solid truck overall. It's got really low miles, like 120,000 miles considering the age. And the owner, we met with him the other day. We got to spend quite a bit of time, test drove it, checked it out. He's been very upfront with some of the issues that it may have down the line, and he's taking good care of it, guys. You know, it's the second owner. He knew the previous owner, the first owner. He bought it from the original owner. It was one of his co-workers. The truck's in good shape, so I am going to take it today to another mechanic just to get a third-party pre-purchase inspection done. If that goes well, I think there's a pretty good chance that we could end up with this truck. It is definitely something that will work for us. It has like a 3,600 pound payload rating. I mean, it can haul whatever truck camper we want, you know, get a smaller one, but we'll be able to fit that in there, Land 650, something along those lines. And then in the meantime, it'll be super helpful for us on this property when we're trying to renovate the cabin, when we're working on the tiny house, when we're doing the solar, when we're doing any sort of landscaping, pavers and stuff like that. I also have this weird dream to put a turf golf green out there and build a little sand trap and stuff just to have like a little practice area for golf. It probably will never happen, but you know, just like all these random things that we want to do. It'd be nice to have in the meantime, and then obviously for us to get on the road, hopefully in the near future. If we can just buy a camper and pop it in there, that's going to get us on the road a lot sooner than having to build something from scratch ourselves. So the mechanic that I took it to, they were really awesome. They didn't even charge me for the pre-purchase inspection. They spent like an hour with the truck, and they did find a few things. Obviously the oil leak here, which I did notice when I looked at it the other day, and the owner told me about it too. And then they also noticed apparently that the transmission is slipping a little bit. That's something that I did not notice. I tend to drive vehicles, I baby them, I don't really go too fast, I don't go too crazy. But he did notice that. I haven't been able to get it to do it again though, so. I think that's a pretty common thing with these trucks when they get up to 120, 130,000 miles. If it is the original transmission, they tend to go. They have to be rebuilt. The engines are solid, these LS engines. But that's just another thing that I'm gonna have to be ready for. I mean, that's gonna be like a few $1,000s to replace this transmission, and I haven't bought the truck yet. I guess I could back out of the deal, but I mean, 3/4 ton truck, price is pretty okay for it, you know, it's fine, it's got low miles, it's in good shape otherwise, a couple of minor things. I think I probably need to make an offer for it. We kind of need a 3/4 ton truck, that's what I've decided. It looks like that would be the best way to go for us long term, and so now it's just a matter of finding one that's in good shape, lower miles. I like these older LS-based Chevys, and I think it would be a great option, but I think it's impossible to find one that has no issues at all. What do you think?
I think it feels like a big old truck in a good way.
They don't make them like they used to.
Okay.
We're going on one last extended test drive here before making our final decision. More than likely we're going to be buying this truck. I just want to take it up the mountain a little bit, go for a little bit longer than I've driven it a couple of times. He actually, the previous owner, offered for me to do that, so. What do you think? One more drive and then go from there?
Yep, let's take it up the mountain.
How do you feel?
Very short.
It's a big truck.
The steering wheel. I think I might need to use a booster seat.
bought the truck. Like I said before, it is a Chevy Silverado 2001 2500, so it's a 3/4 ton truck. It's in really good condition overall. I mean, yeah, it's a little old, but paint looks great. The previous owner took great care of it. Nathan, it was great meeting you and your family, and I think it's gonna be perfect for us. You know, it has a couple of little issues. It's an old truck. A lot of the issues that are pretty common with these Silverados, some of them we are gonna address, some of them we're probably just gonna have to live with, and then others we might actually have like a professional take it to a mechanic and have them work on it. But it's gonna be a good opportunity for me to learn about these trucks. I'm definitely gonna get my hands dirty and work with it, and I think it's gonna be a good platform for us once we do get back on the road. It's also gonna be extremely useful for us while we're out here living off-grid on this property. In terms of price on this, I do think that's pretty relevant information given the state of the market right now, and obviously I've been trying to kind of document this experience over the past couple of months while we've been searching for our next rig. We did pay $8,000 cash price for this vehicle. It was a private party sale, so we didn't have to worry about like dealer markups or margins or anything like that. And obviously the truck does have a couple of little issues. It's got a minor oil leak that we're gonna have to take care of. It has a couple of quirks that just seem to happen on every single one of these first generation Silverados and even Tahoes and Avalanches. They're pretty common little problems. Like I said before, some of them we'll address, some of them we'll probably just deal with and just have with the truck. You know, guys, the state of this market right now, you try to find a newer 3/4 ton truck and you're looking at $40, $50, $60, even up to $70,000 for some of these 3/4 tons, especially the diesel ones, and even the older ones, guys. Like, the prices on the older ones are even more inflated for some reason. I mean, go to a dealer and try to find even a early 2000s Silverado like this one with 120,000 miles. I don't think you're gonna pay that. I think you're probably gonna pay quite a bit more for a vehicle like this. And the way I look at it is, if we have to put some money into this over the next couple of years, I'm almost certain that we will. We're probably looking at maybe rebuilding the transmission at some point. I don't think it's a problem right now, but down the line, we put some weight in the back, we're hauling all over the place. It's something that happens with these vehicles. It's something that we're gonna have to think about. But even then, we're still way under what it would cost to even put a down payment on a new 3/4 ton truck in today's market. Of course, the biggest downside with a truck this big is the gas mileage. I know folks are going to comment on that, especially with how expensive gas is these days, but it is all about trade-offs, right? I mean, to get a vehicle that's big enough for Shannon and I to live in and to be comfortable in while we're traveling around full-time, we're going to have to sacrifice on gas. You're not going to find a 3/4 ton truck that gets 30 miles to the gallon. This truck has about a 3,600 pound payload. We can very safely put like a Lance 650, a half-ton truck camper in here, which is exactly what we plan to do, and then have more than enough payload for our possessions and for our bodies and any guests that want to come join us on the road, whatever it may be. We want it to go 3/4 ton for that reason, and like I said, it's all trade-offs. I think this is going to be a great platform for us. It's easy to work on. They're solid vehicles. I do think part of the reason why we paid the price that we did for this truck and why it was priced the way that it was is because it is only a 2-wheel drive version. I know a lot of folks are looking for that 4-wheel drive on these older trucks, and for me, like, I preferred the 2-wheel drive, looking for something of this age, something that's 20 plus years old. Just less things they have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the front differential leaking or failing or having gasket issues or whatever, because there is no front differential. That's kind of just the way I look at it. I think that I saw that in like a Scotty Kilmer video. He recommended just aiming for the 2-wheel drive trucks, especially when you consider that this thing has more than enough ground clearance to get us wherever we need to go. And I don't know, I don't know if it's worth that extra $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 premium to try to get something that's 4-wheel drive. Turns out, I think it might snow here a little bit more than I had previously anticipated. Woke up to a few more inches this morning, and today I did have to come back into Albuquerque to do a VIN inspection. It is a little bit more difficult to do VIN inspections out here in New Mexico than it is in Florida. It's also more expensive, but it's a process that we have to go through in order to get this vehicle registered. It's turning out to be a little bit of a process, but you know, hopefully we'll get it taken care of within the next couple hours. I can send everything off, and hopefully we'll have our registration and everything and be good to go. We've only driven the truck a couple of times since we bought it. We've really just been using it to haul a couple of things, some 2x4s and some plywood. And that's really about it. Trying not to use it a lot because it does use a little bit more gas. We'll stick to the Element and only use the truck when we need it for now. And then when we get on the road, we'll obviously be using it all the time, but at that point it'll be serving the purpose of holding our house in the bed back there. So we'll keep you guys posted on how this all develops. We're really, really excited, and hopefully having a truck like this will allow us to get on the road a little bit sooner. We won't have to build anything from scratch or anything like that, and I'm looking forward to that day. I can't wait for it, but I'm also enjoying our time out here in New Mexico, and we will be here for a little while. We'll talk to you all in the next one.